Hello, good evening, guys. Welcome back to the new lecture. As we completed in the last lecture, which chapter? Conic section. So the next chapter is the chapter statistics, or you can say statistics is divided into two parts: measures of central tendency, which you did it very detailed in your 10th standard. So ongoing with that statistics, now the next is measures of dispersion. So in statistics, we are going to study two things, guys. First is measures of central tendency, which we already did it in 10th standard in very detail. So in 11th, we'll be doing the second part, which is measures of dispersion. Don't worry, we'll be going through the measures of central tendency and then we'll continue with measures of dispersion. So our today's plan is to like complete the measures of central tendency and just introduce the measures of dispersion. So yeah, good evening all, welcome back. Let's get started. So I hope my voice and it's clear. Yes. So let's see. Measures of dispersion. So first is introduction. What is meant by central tendency? This is the revision. Central tendency is of the data. As you all know, let me tell you one thing about statistics. Statistics is basically the analyzation of data. That given a data, what can you analyze? So to analyze the data, we have various tools. Some of them are mean, median, and mode. Correct. Let me repeat myself once again. Statistics is useful in analyzing data. Now, to analyze the data, we have to have some tools. And some of the tools are mean, median, and mode. Now, mean, median, and mode gives us the central tendency. You will see when we go into the definition. So, central tendency can be calculated by mean, median, and mode. I hope you know all these three terms, but we are just revising. Correct? Okay, who all are there with us? Just give me thumbs up if voice and all screen is proper. Santosh. Hello, Santosh. You are new. I have seen you first time in the lecture. Are you there? Hello, Santosh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, chalo. Everything is clear? Let's see. You can, if you don't want to unmute, you can chat in the chat box, right? Chalo. I can see your messages. Let's see. So the next is statistical analysis. So that's what we were talking about. I just told you that statistical analysis is to find of the data, and this number is calculated based on tools. That is, some of them are mean, median, and mode. So central value or an average. This is another name for mean, right? So let's see. Here I have made, you can say, tree diagram sort of things, so that in which ways can we represent the data. So as you all know, we have the main ways, ungrouped way and grouped way. So let's see, let's revise it again. Ungrouped data. The next is example, individual marks. I write the marks randomly in any way. As you can see here, 20, 30, 12, 5, 15. So this is ungrouped data. After that, we have group data. Right? In group data, we have discrete frequency distribution. Discrete means every mark is written in a table and corresponding to it, we have a frequency. Like how many students have got these marks. Example, is this. Suppose marks 10. How many students got 10 marks? 2 students. Marks 30. How many got? 1, 15, 4. This is the discrete frequency. And next we have is continuous. Continuous means, I hope you must know this. Continuous means here we have a class interval that 2 students are there who got marks between 0 to 10. Between 10 to 20, there is only one student. Between 20 to 30, there is only four students, and so on. So we can represent the data in two ways, grouped and ungrouped. Obviously, we never prefer ungrouped data because it is randomized and it's chaos. We prefer grouped data. So let's see what we have next. I hope you all know this from your 10th channel. If not, you can easily revise it here. Got it? Chalo, let's see what we have next. Yes. Now this is basically, again, I told you, revision, because the process of finding mean, median, and mode for all types of data, all the three types of data, we have already studied in our 10th standard. So we'll revise it quickly. Just a second. Yeah. Someone joined. Okay. All new students are joining. Super. Chalo, mean. Mean is denoted by X bar. How it is read as X bar. What is the formula of mean? Summation of all xi. What is meant by xi? Xi is all the data. So if we add all the marks, and divided by number of students, or you can say this is the arithmetic mean, sum of all observations upon total number of observations. This you might have heard many a times from a school teacher. Mean is sum of all observations upon total number of observations. So n is total number of observations. This whole thing, summation, is the sum of all observations. So let's take an example. There are four numbers, out of which we have to calculate the mean. So we first find sum of all observations, 7 plus 3 plus 5 plus 1 upon total. There are four numbers, so divide by 4. So the mean comes to 4. Correct? Next, median. How do we obtain median? Now, please remember, we are doing this for ungrouped data. Median is obtained. I hope you must know or you remember this. Median is obtained by arranging the data in ascending or descending order. Any way you can arrange. But first, we have to arrange the data. Median means basically the central term. Like if I arrange the data in ascending order, what number appears at the center? That is my median. So here we have two cases. If the number of observations are odd. So let me just give you an example. See, if there are 5 observations in ascending order as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So in odd number of observations, there is only one middle term, which is the median. And how to get that median? This is a third term. So we use the formula n plus 1 by 2. N plus 1 by 2th observation or n plus 1 by 2th term. So let's take an example here. Yeah, sorry. Here we have 5 terms. That means n is equals to 5. So we can manually see that the third term is our median. So if we input n equals to 5 here in this formula, what we'll get? 5 plus 1 upon 2, which is 6 upon 2, which is 3. So we got the third term as median. If the observations are odd. Now, if the observations are even, then we have two middle terms. Right? Let's say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So here we have two middle terms whose position is given by these two. N by tooth and n by 2 plus 1th observation. Okay, you can check by putting n equals to 6. If I put n equals to 6, I'll get third from here and fourth from here. So the third term and the fourth term are my medians. Correct? Very simple. So median is calculated by these, right? Always try to arrange the data in ascending or descending. Chalo. We have also an example. We have already taken the example, but let's see. Median. Here there are even number of terms. First, we have to arrange in ascending order. Number of observation 4 even. So mean will be n by 2 and n plus 1, n by 2 plus 1, which comes to second observation and third observation, as you can see here. Right? In case of even number of terms, we have to get the middle term exactly. How to get the middle term? Between 6 and 3. Which is the middle term? It is 4.5. Correct? This is the median. Third one. Most repeated observation in the given data is mode. Most repeated observation. That means the number which is, just a second here. I hope you can see the cursor. Huh? The number which is repeated the most times is called mode. So which number is repeated the most time? 2, 1, 2, 2 is repeated twice, 3 is repeated 4 times. I think 3 is the answer, right? Because 3 is repeated 4 times. First, second, third, and fourth. Right? 3 repeated more number of times. Relation between median and mode. I hope you have done this also in your 10th standard. Very simple question must come from this relation, right? What was that? Mode equals to 3 into median minus 2. Mode equals to 3 into median minus 2 into mean. Mode equals to 3 into median minus 2 into mean. Please let me tell you guys, in JEE, you can expect one question on statistics. It always comes, and some of the questions are direct like this. They will give you median, they will give you mean, they will ask you to find mode. Such simple questions which a 8 to 9 standard student can do easily. So that's why it is important to know the formula. If you didn't know the formula, you cannot calculate mode, even if it's such a simple question, right? What we have next? Sometimes, okay, I'm reading it first and then I'll explain. So yeah, or I should give you to read. We'll read it together. What is it written? Sometimes measure of central tendency is not sufficient to give complete information about the data. Obviously, guys, just measuring what is happening at the center is the work of central tendency, is the meaning of central tendency. That is measuring what is happening at the center. Now, to get measures of central tendency, we have studied three things: mean, median, and mode. They tell us what is happening at the center. But that is not enough to analyze the data completely. Because apart from center, what is happening on the outside, that we need to know. So for that, we have measures of dispersion, which is a second topic, or which is a main topic of 11th standard. Till now, what we have done is we have revised 10 standards, mean, median, and mode. So what do we have next? Let us discuss an example on this. See, this example is very nice, guys. I have taken a good example. If you understood this, then you will know okay, why only measuring the central tendency is not enough. Chalo. Consider two batsmen and their scores in 5 consecutive innings. One of them is Kohli and other is Raina. See, by seeing the data only, you can judge something. Now, what can you judge, guys? By seeing just the scores they have done in 5 innings, what can you tell me? Like, what conclusion can you draw? If I want to select a more, batsman which will score at least 40 runs in every innings, then how about your? Who would you select? Anyone? I hope you got my question. You can type in the chat box. Please, guys, this is already a theoretical chapter, very theoretical chapter. No, like, new thing to know, right? So I'm trying to make the class interactive. Please help, like, be with me. Just answer my question. Always you can ask the doubts. So let's try and make the class interactive so that no one gets bored. Otherwise, also I'll get bored along with you. Come on. Since you are all new or first timers, let's see what answers do you have. Hello, guys. Raju Goda left. Are? Also, someone left. Why, guys? Are you not able to? Okay, everyone left. Santosh, are you there? There is disturbance. You can type in the chat box. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Hello. So let's see this. Mean of the two batsmen is same. So what this example will help us to understand is, this example will help us to understand that why not just focusing on the central values of the data is not enough. We have to also focus on how much the data is spread throughout. Now, please listen my words very carefully. We are not, like, it is incomplete information to just focus on the central part of the data. We need to know how much data is in the other parts or how much the data is dispersed. So the dispersion of data is given by measures of dispersion, which is similar to measures of central tendency, which give us the data, what is happening to the data at the center. If you calculate mean, the mean of both the batsmen is same, which is 60. But can we select, mean means average? Can we select the batsman only on this information? No. Why? Because both of them have the same average. So this means this is incomplete analyzation of the data. For that, now we need to know who is more consistent or who is scoring consistent runs throughout the innings. Now I hope you are getting me. If you see Kohli, by the data, he is more consistent because he is scoring around 50 most of the times. He scored 50 year, 40 year, 110 year, 60 year, 40 year. That means he is more consistent in scoring 50. That means the probability of him scoring 50 in the next innings, in the sixth innings, is more. While Raina scores, but he is very inconsistent. He scores 100 first, but then gets out for a duck. Again scores 100, but then only 10, and then scores 90. So we cannot say that in the next innings, the probability of Raina scoring around 50 is very low. So what are we looking at? We are looking at consistency. What does mean by consistency? That the runs, how much the runs are spread throughout the data. Right? Here, Kohli's data or Kohli's runs are majorly centered. That means on around 50. But if you try to see Raina, it is 100, 0, 100, 0, and so on. So that means we need to know dispersion of data, which is given by measures of dispersion. Please read this question. Can we say that the performance of the two players is the same? No, because their ranges are different. Same thing I told you. Kohli's range is from 40 to 110, small range. Raina's range is from 0 to 100, big range. Same thing I told you, range is highest to minus least. So, if we try to plot, now we are moving towards the chapter, towards the meaning of the chapter, measures of dispersion. See, we are plotting the scores on the number line. Here are the scores of Kohli. Excuse me. As you can see, 40, 50, 60. Here is Raina. C is range. You can read this. I've already explained the basics which we have to do. Here you can read it. Let us read together. The dots corresponding to Kohli are closer or are clustered around 50 or 60, which is the mean. While Raina's dots are scattered out or more spread out. So we can see that measures of central tendency is not sufficient to give the complete information of the data. So that's why we have to get or we have to study measures of dispersion. Now, to study measures of central tendency, we had some tools, mean, median, mode. Similarly, to study measures of dispersion, we have again tools. Those three tools are range, variance, and standard deviation. Range, variance, and standard deviation. Here it is. These we have covered. Quartile deviation, mean deviation is all a part of standard deviation. So majorly we have to study three things: range, variance, and deviations. Deviation में कितने types है? 3. Quartile deviation, mean deviation, standard deviation. Right? So let's jump into it. Out of which range we already studied. Correct? Range we already studied. Right? Chalo, range, mean, and deviation. All of them left. Hello. If I ask a question, why are you guys leaving? Okay, guys, I'll continue with the recording. Range, mean, and deviation. The measures of dispersion are range, quartile deviation, mean deviation, variance, and standard deviation. all of them are connected to each other. Let's study them one by one. Range, I think we have already discussed. Highest value minus lowest value. You can see the difference between the maximum and the minimum value is called range. Example, here in this data